I'm Phil Anderson, and I'm the father of Lara Meghan Anderson. Lara was born in the United States. She is an American citizen, and it's kind of ironic because we're Canadians, and so she's the one in our family that was an American citizen. And she was raised in LA here, and then she went to, a private school within the church. The school that she went to, I can compare it to even to my upbringing. I mean, I went to a private school myself, lived there. It was on a lake, and we had all kinds of activities. And the thing I liked about where Megan went to school was similar, if not better, because it was like a ranch setup. There were animals there. There were horses. There was like fields, space, and yeah, it was drug free, it was bully free, it was like the situations that were going on with educational facilities within America around the world was a little bit alarming to me as a parent, and I knew that in that situation that she was free of those things and allowed to just express herself and how she wanted to do it. And she was able to participate like in horseback riding. She became pretty good at that. We even talked to this one about her getting animals, and she asked me when she was like about 8 years old that she wanted to get a goat, Okay, Dad, you've got the responsibility to come up with a goat. We drove to a farm. We found, that it had little baby goats, and we got her a goat, and so we dedicated time, like on the weekends, was exclusively for her. And like we could do different events, horseback riding or whatever. We could go for walks. It was an environment that we could do that together. And, I tried to open up for her. So if she was interested in music and she was interested in that, we would fool around on that. One time, like, got a keyboard and brought it home so that she could just, fool around on the piano. I think there was at the school that she was at, she had the access to music there. And it became a big purpose line for her. She wanted to excel in that as well, which was I was happy for that because I love music too. And we used to share different stories about music and whatnot. The school offered many different type of field trips. Usually like once a month they were going either like to a local farm, they were going to different events, there was some movies or shows that they would go to. I mean, one time they even went to a ship, that was like completely where they got to learn how to, it was a big ship, within, like the full oceanic type ship, and I've spent a couple days on it learning how it works and how to run a ship, like what school offers that kind of thing, and she went on that. My overview of her and her childhood was that it was an active childhood for her. She wasn't sitting back and bored and uninspired and not being, not participating. On the contrary, she was involved. There was a point where at the school there was it was time for to graduate, and so she was given a choice to what she wanted to do in terms of she could stay in Los Angeles. There was another facility that was in Florida where she could go to and take on a position there. And she decided that she wanted to do that, which was great because I was excited about it. So was her mother. And so Megan went to Florida. And she started off by doing positions, advanced in it. She ran into some difficulties while she was there in terms of, from what I understand, was her own just sort of integrity and honesty that kind of bit her a little bit, and then it started to descend in terms of her relationship with individuals there. A lot of work was done to try to assist and help her to come to, I would say, just a better confront of what she was doing. Unfortunately, it didn't result in, for her, an understanding, and she decided that at that point that she wanted to leave the Sea Organization. And again, I brought her up on the whole occasion that Megan was going to decide her own life. I'm here to offer some choices. And so when she decided that she wanted to, it was more that what she communicated to me, that she wanted to pursue the musical aspect of her life. I knew that was a strong purpose for her. So I wasn't I was like all the best to her, and I was, look, I'm going to help you and support you in whatever way I can, We were in regular communication. I would think like, every week she would update me on, what she was doing. She, produced, a CD. There was a couple of shows that she did locally that I immediately took the time to go see her, a little bit of odd scheduling, but still made it happen. And I was there, the dad in the middle of the middle of the crowd of young kids, and who's like, who is that guy? Well, that's my dad. She would say. It's like, so that was kind of like our relationship at that time, and I tried to keep it that way. I went to Palm Springs to see her a couple times there, yeah, it was just like all along the way, just trying to just encourage her to keep her going, because I know that industry can be rough. She seemed to make a connection with a company in New York that was going to produce her CD, and she was just like bubbly and foamy and told me she was so excited and she was flying out to New York to do this. And I thought, oh, this is awesome. Just keep me, She would email me and call me from New York while she was there. It turns out that, and this is what she communicated and told me, that this company was dishonest, and they wrote into the agreement, whatever contract that she made with them, somehow like manipulated the rights to her songs. Ended up, instead of her making royalties off of it, she owed them money, and that was like a major punch. I mean, like she had a lot of pride and a lot of like she wasn't going to let it show, because I could see that in her. But I mean, I just felt it just for her. I mean, I knew that particular point was rough. And then at that point, things started to decay. She started to hang out with individuals that I could just see weren't as productive and as let's just say in her same category. They were getting too much into the partying, too much into the extracurricular, the drugs, the this, that. This is descended down into a rough, wrong road. And I kept, trying to direct her attention to that, to tell her like, that, this is not the way to go on this particular thing. This started to interfere with our relationship. It was like, I found that, the things I was trying to tell her just were like being kicked back versus any kind of like understanding, or, Megan was going, yeah, Dad, thanks for telling me that. It was more like, yeah. There was a distinct time where there was individuals that were overtly telling me that, hey, you shouldn't be trying to talk to your daughter. And I was going, I'm her father. I don't know who you are, but I'm her father, and I've every right to speak to her. And, you can kind of step aside, because I want to hear it from her that she does not want to speak to me. And so I finally got at least to that point where we seemingly were going to agree to have a talk that was not going to be interfered with other individuals, and then we just have a father-to-daughter discussion. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. And then a day went by, and it was no answer to the calls, no answer to any of my texts or emails. And then the following day, I received an email from her. Then she decided that she didn't want to speak to me anymore and wrote me an official communication that said that. And I was like, unfortunately, that happened. In Megan's letter to me was completely her origination. It was 100% her decision to cut the communication. And knowingly that she would also then cut the communication with her mother and with her sister and her brother too, just because the extreme of what she was saying. So that was her doing. That was definitely not me or anybody else. I mean, as I said, I was like open from the day one to try to open and offer the help any way I could. She didn't take it, and she's now gone in a way of trying to even, literally destroy that help. And that's not going to help any type of relationship.